if not a conspiracy, one note to add here in terms of the international relations, not globally, but that includes Germany, Turkey, and maybe Israel, because I've been having this podcast and episodes, a few episodes on Israel, as I've already referenced Freud here and the Olaf Scholz. And if not in the elections, maybe the Turkish president might have used some underbelly words, or the words that are not that sound well in terms of I don't know, local or international politics. A few times I've seen on the news that the president used this term, the Israeli sperm. I mean, that's like a term. I mean, you cannot do that in international politics, let alone in the local politics. Really, the very term, sperm in Turkish, İsrail dölü. Just like using the word Nazi for the German chancellors, he used this term just like the gavur. Gavur izmir, the non-Muslim izmir. These three terms that have been used, overused in the elections in Turkey by the Turkish president. I mean, let's just say the gavur izmir. Okay, we are from the same country. We can just like conceive that as a joke or whatever, because I mean, that could be just one of the dirty words you use and your like with your that's not that much of like a derogatory term, but using the Nazi and the Israeli sperm, these two words are very, very troublemakers. I mean, you might just erect a consulate or embassy in New York City. That won't make sense. That won't change these terms that you've been using. Misusing or abusing these terms. Yeah, I mean, this is like a misuse and abuse of the terms like the Nazi, like the Israeli sperm in politics. I mean, in the elections, using the terms Nazi for invisible threats. For that might be from Turkey or not. The term Israeli sperm was used, as far as I remember, for the dissidents from Turkey. Indeed, not an Angela Merkel kind of like, I don't know, the Western or European rivals, but the let's say the critiques from Turkey have been, I mean, this is not an accusation. Well, to an Islamist, that might sound accusation. Using the term, anti-Semitic, I mean, to the core. Just like the word, I mean, the gavur to me doesn't sound anti-Semitic. Doesn't sound, I mean, that's religiously racist. Using gavur, Israeli, these are racist terms. Israel is an anti-Semitist, and the gavur is racist. But I mean, for gavur, who is? How are you going to describe who gavur is? It's like one of the terms, like in the Kafir Surah, like Kafir and gavur and Israel and whatever. And these terms do not even fit into political jargon, let alone any neo-inquisitional scientific discourse. The terms are really bad, which do not even fit into any political jargon. Doesn't look and sound good for any political leader. And might be a joke when you just gather once a year, like G20, G7, or whatever. Like I don't know, dirty underbelly jokes if they're doing that. But like, I mean, overtly, that in a way as to make that on the media using these terms like the Nazi, the Gavur, or the Israeli Dulu. Well, these are really depressing political moves, which are not, I don't think, which, well, not even political jargon, let alone trying to turn these terms into the methodologies in pseudosciences. And well, I had to add this. And just like in these uh, uh, calls that has this claim on the sense of having the God's power of superiority, there's a the very sad example from the past. It's not the last decade. It's not 2000s. From 1997, uh, someone from Izmir known as Oğuz Atak, and Oğuz Atak, or Ozzy as the nickname was given to this. Let me use the English term queer persona. Even if not sexually, but the identity was like a queer. This he used to be a bartender. I know this story. I've read a lot. Um, and I used to be a bartender in Istanbul, but before that, he was from Punta, the name for the neighborhood Alsancak in Izmir. His name is Oğuz Atak and Otsi. If you look at the images of him, he also acted in a music video of known as Carnival by Nezi Hunan in 1997, the year that just before he was shot death in 1997 in a park in Istanbul. But you look at the body and the persona and the story of this known and unknown queer persona looks pretty much like some haters, whom some haters would see and conceive as like an Islamist neo-Nazi. And then he was from Izmir, and I think there might have been a documentary or some folders on this persona. It was I knew that singer and the song, and I didn't know the story. I learned about it later. But he had a tattoo saying in Arabic on his back saying Allah. And he was murdered in this Bebek Park in Istanbul in 1997 by some extreme Islamist groups and who were gaining a lot of power in the late 1990s Turkey. I don't know who and I don't know how, but I know one for sure. This queer bartender named Ozzy in 1990s, late 1990s, had a tattoo saying Allah on his body, and his body performance is to me it's like more or less queer. If not sexually, let me just say identity, in terms of like queer identity, in terms of like overturning the sense of bodily being or something like that, and using Allah as a tattoo. These are really, challenging. Not a political move. I think that was just for that guy. It was just a bodily performance or being. But yeah, I mean the extreme Islamists with that superior power that Allah bestowed on them, on these groups, might even do this to actually to someone who is not even atheist, who believes in gods so much that he has the tattoo of Allah on his back. But I mean, this is 1990s, and that happened probably because that guy was more or less On the I don't know with celebrities like the Nezihunan music video, and probably there might have been a lot of folks who had these tattoos on their bodies. But yeah, I mean this this was interesting. Why? Because I mean I'm just giving you also an example from within, which means that it's not the devil is not necessarily something gawur or whatever, but also something of their own kind in terms of religion, of course. Uh, but well, I mean, to me, there is no corporeal judging for someone I have no idea about, other than what I've read on the news. And but yeah, I mean that was also on the news. And that sense of not even using the name of Allah. A group, an extremist Islamist group, is using the power that Allah gave them. It's like a caliphate mindset or something like that, to just kill. Uh, I don't know. Maybe there might have been some sectionalities, like I don't know. There's sections in Turkey, not in Turkey, in Islam, and some sections are more weirder than a few sections. There are very weird Islamic sections in Turkey who might even be conceived as not maybe a same and different religion. I don't know. I have no idea if there were sectionalities involved in this example. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Allah, and in whose name these acts and calls and are conducted.